The news day continues here on One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. The country's unemployment rate slightly picked up in December to 6.6%. That's higher than the 6.5% recorded in November of last year. Month on month, the total number of jobless Filipinos increased by 113,000 to 3.27 million. PSA says the unemployment increased just as the overall labor force participation rate also climbed in December. This means that more than 900,000 Filipinos aged 15 years or older, either employed or unemployed, have been added to the labor force. Aksyon Demokratiko presidential bet Isko Moreno is campaigning around Laguna today. To give us more details, we now have Romel Lopez on the line from Santa Maria in Laguna. Good morning, Romel. What is the latest?
Yes, Charles, the Aksyon Demokratiko team will try to woo residents of Laguna on day 3 of the national campaign. Presidential aspirant and Manila Mayor Isko Moreno is joined by his running mate, Dr. Willie Ong, and Senator Obet Samira Gutok, Jobet Sison, and Carl Balita. Moreno just finished a courtesy call with Santa Maria Laguna Mayor Cindy Carolino here at the Municipal Hall. And right now, we're on a motorcade that will cover 10 towns, including Santa Maria, Mabitac, Sinaloan, Fami, and other parts of Laguna. Later, Team Isko will also be having a pit stop at the Pagsanghan Town Plaza to talk to the banqueros in the area. They're also set to have a courtesy call with Laguna Governor Ramil Hernandez. Charles?
Thanks for that, Romel. That was Romel Lopez reporting from Laguna. Opposition coalition Isang Bayan is currently holding a forum to discuss the recent developments in the disqualification cases against presidential candidate Bongbong Marcos Jr. To give us more details on this, we now have Jen Kalimon reporting live via Zoom. Good morning again, Jen. What is the latest on this? Who do we know are set to speak at this event, and what has been discussed so far?
Yes, Charles, good morning. So some of the speakers include retired Supreme Court Justice and Chancellor of the Judicial Academy, Adolf Ascuna, and retired Supreme Court Justice Antonio Carpio. So they mentioned the grounds for Bongbong Marcos Jr.'s disqualification and the possible scenarios that may happen if he gets disqualified after election. Charles?
Jen, much has been said about the release or the non-release of this decision from the First Division of COMELEC. How is the coalition planning to push for the release of this decision on the Marcos case?
Yes, Charles, can you please repeat the question?
Right. Jen, how is the Isang Bayan coalition planning to pursue, well, at least push for the release of this decision on the Marcos case?
Yes, Charles. So for retired Justice Escuña, the delay was primarily caused by the fact that there are vacancies and they have to complete the vacancies before deciding on the cases. So it would take some time before they settle down. But once Sambayan is appealing to the COMELEC to release their decision before election day comes and let the rule of law prevail. Charles?
Right. Jen, you mentioned that it will take some time and the elections are right around the corner. So what are some of the possible scenarios that we can expect should the DQ cases perhaps be elevated to the Supreme Court?
Yes, Charles. So retired Justice Adolf Ascuna mentioned 3 scenarios once BBM is disqualified to become president. So first scenario, if he is disqualified and the election and our election is held and the disqualification is decided after election, and assuming BBM is elected but not yet taken oath, then he is disqualified, and then the VP-elect shall temporarily act as the president-elect. Second scenario, Charles, if BBM takes oath and is disqualified, so Section 8 of Article 7 says that disqualification of incumbent president is a removal from office. And if he is removed from office, then the vice president becomes the president. The third scenario is election contest through quo warranto. So if the removal is by quo warranto under the power of the Supreme Court, sitting en banc as sole judge of all contests relating to the qualification of the president, then the petitioner who is qualified and entitled to the office, meaning the second highest vote, becomes the president. But if the president is disqualified after assuming office and removed through the Comelec route, appealed to the Supreme Court and not by quo warranto, then a vacancy occurs and the vice president becomes president. Charles?
Right, Jen, one last question before I let you go. Much controversy has actually arisen from the fact that 3 Comelec commissioners have recently retired in the middle of all this. How will this affect the upcoming elections, at least according to Isang Bayan?
Well, retired Supreme Court Justice Antonio Carpio said that we have to assume that our Comelec commissioners will be performing their duties regularly and in good faith. So we'll just have to wait for their decision. Well, if they don't agree with the decision of the commissioners, then a motion for reconsideration can be filed. Charles?
Thank you for that, Jen. That was Jen Calimon, reporting live from Malabon. After a series of mini rallies in Albay, Camarines Norte, and Sorsogon, the Robredo and Pangilinan tandem moved on to campaign in Batangas. To give us the latest, we now have Ryan Ang joining us live from the city of Lipa. Ryan, good morning. Tell us the situation there so far. What are you seeing?
Charles, the event for Vice President Leni Robredo and Senator Kiko Pangilinan has just started here in Lipa City. Robredo and Pangilinan kicked off the Batangas leg of their campaign with a sortie at the Padre Garcia Batangas Cultural Center in Barangay Kilo Kilo. Recall that yesterday, Camarines Norte turned pink as supporters greet the Leni Kiko tandem during mini rallies in Labo and Daet. They were welcomed by guest senatorial candidate and Governor Chis Escudero. They were also welcomed by supporters in Libon, Lubatan, and Legazpi Albay, where Robredo was endorsed by Albay's 2nd District Congressman Joey Salceda for president. Charles, VP Leni and Senator Kiko Pangilinan are also scheduled to greet supporters and LGU officials in Balayan and Tanawan later today. Batangas is the 7th vote-rich province in the country. Charles?
Thanks for that, Ryan. That was Ryan Ang reporting live from Lipa, Batangas. The Health Department recommends vaccinations in campaign rallies. Speaking to One News, Health Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergere said that this is to offset the risk of a super spreader event during the campaign period. Vergere added that since mass gatherings can't be avoided, the department wants to protect the population as much as possible.
Sa mga protocols na meron ngayon based on the resolution of COMELEC, the vaccination was not highlighted. That's why I was recommending na dapat kasama siguro dapat sa protocol because this is additional protection for us. It's like you're trying to offset the risk that cannot be avoided.
Vergere also said that the department's mandate during the campaign period is to flag protocol violators and coordinate with the DILG to enforce proper campaign procedures. These 2 departments will also be teaming up with the AFP and PNP to ensure that all candidates follow election health guidelines.
Kailangan lang po talaga ma-monitor, ma-enforce ng ating mga local governments and DILG together with PNP and AFP. As for 2H, our flags would be when we see something like this, we write the concerned agency so as to flag them and to remind them to be able to monitor and do all of these things.
Time now for a quick look at some of today's headlines. As the election campaign continues, eyes are on the common senatoriables who have started to make appearances for different parties. Albay Representative Joey Salceda, a known Duterte ally, endorses presidential candidate VP Leni Robredo. And Vice Presidential candidate Lito Atienza says he won't be part of the cabinet if ever he is elected. Instead, he would like to be a, quote, super assistant. And those are the top stories at this hour. Join us again later at 2 p.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com so you can stream One News live anytime and anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.
Check 1 2 3 mic test 1 2 3 1 2 3.